o dira jang Wyllie ga ile gore ngwana go go rare hey kana mme ngwana ga malome ha ile Wyllie o tsore keng
bogologolo motho o na tsaya ntsalagwe bua ka bogologolo a ke re ne le thophelwa gore o nyala mang ko kae wa khotla e wa lesika la lona so ne go siame bogologolo malatsi a go dingalo tota a ke re Abraham mo Bible married his own sister from another mother so and then Isaac aba go batelwa cousin ya gagwe ngwana ga malomagwe so it's very complicated but incest ya diragala even though right now you did that you may end up in trouble with the law
are nthomelela saro
le rapo wa le
shapuzit
so mente autiaga
no ka se so mitol Iso ka se so mitol le autiaga so miti ke so miti moletsa mo 76281885 are as for me I wouldn't ne so having to realize that it's my cousin it will be the end of the relationship a relationship kana ke situationship
Stana ka molatela gona ka me
a gona ka pelo morago yes a WhatsApp voice note le ngwe engwe ile ngore ya goroga
khazi ke khazi so mate ke so mate
o gana nna wa banyana yo bagaetso guys now I'm not going to let circumstances take away my happiness our cousin ya ka kana our cousin aka ha ile gore kweno le gore you are making me happy I'm marrying you you are my sister kana
but science has proved that if you marry a relative there are bound to be deformities
in DNA
offspring le gona go tshola bana ba ba sa nnase
Wyllie ra go dira jang jaanong nyang khasela wena gore ra go dira jang jaanong ha ile gore maikutlo a go ra re nya
self-control. You can manage your maikuto, you can terminate the relationship and find somebody who is not related.
No, Wyllie. O tlotla busule yang. Kana wena self-control is not a walk in a park. It's not a walk in a park. Sometimes you realize when meet this person is actually making me happy. Hi.
But he's your sister.
You can make the Rwanda Lebanon.
Young way, I'm Rebola.
Rontona Lamatomora, Barara, Givise, go, Colatum. I don't have the aim, I'm talking one hour now. Nancy, Lieutenant Santa was an ally with Hatella, like a jelly. Lensana Manza like a legacy. I don't know when I would young to near Molo, you to go, I'm all I can talk a hell.
Yeah.
What's our no money and I dare would 7 about Molo?
Oh wow. Yo. Wyllie o tlo re khanyang o e nne la e boela mo picturing.
Kana Siandlu, you were not related to that particular man who was married to your sister.
To your sibling.
Now you are talking about you guys being related, the same blood.
I wrote a final voice note before it's in sync.
Because now let's talk about one. Ona nam talik ticket to room. Nanda perratana ko namana terta ko lema after 6 months. Mathono go se bonolo tota no go se bonolo. Hey. Mama na na we are lady cousin hey shoot wa ga tengana go la go tshana ofonyana. Ke gela ke nna ba se ke modisa ba go ra ga gane 1 2 3 but the time ke my ka ga gane ke ha la bolla mma go nna kana ke re tare sena sa mme ga te mma go ke tsana. Are e ba re ntse ba buisa mafuta ba go nyala neo lo awan.
Yeah.
So for hanga is mafuta go la dikit ke go nyala. O tlo go re no ya cousins. And because mama hanya ba mma go ke na maloma. Ba ga so go tsolo. O tsere ke asa tlo go re tsara. Le kana le mangena na mama o nthetsa lo hele ke mare tse ka ra isa mafuta go na ha ba tlo dumela. Hey guys.
You see Wyllie ke wena khanye ile gore ke ipotsa gore ha ile gore ano go isa mahoko ga o tsena bana a onna rakgadi kana onna mmangwane kana onna nkuku.
Those are the complications. And bagolo will never allow bana ba motho gore ba ka nyalana.
No guys, I still say soulmate ke soulmate. And o ka say soulmate only.
Opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the station, its management, nor its advertisers.
Jaga ntse mo utlo sala ka no Tshidi Wyllie gore fa emotionally and physically in sync.
Emotionally and Physically in Sync is brought to you by Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, MySec, and Botswana National Youth Council, BNYC.
At exactly 119 on DUMA FM, more talk, more music. Hello, Wyllie. Ke go dumetse se muso. E go tsa mentse jang beke.
We are discussing interesting.
Ke go rosa ya la ka diganyala tse di bokete. No, because I've seen these things happen, Wyllie. I've seen these things happen. Particularly ka di holiday ne you'll find batho ba re ra go gae ke ntse ke le mo gabrone since January gongwe ka di 4 kana ka di 3 tsa ga January ke gone ke ang gae gape gompino ka di 25 tsa ga December ke ya Christmaseng between the 25 tsa ga December le di 2 tsa ga January I'm lonely but I need someone to
when it's intentionally done and you know this person is your cousin. No, really, honestly, that one you why it's over moto ke khaitsadi yo tsala o ke khaitsadi yo go gore wa bo dira gore wa bo bata go dira ya e seng ga go tshwanele go no kopane le ene go le kopane nteng go ditirong a berekela go la kopana go di workshopong le sa itsane gore le are related. You need to find later that you are related.
Keep sharing those voice notes mo 76281885 ha re bone nna go re tla heta ka tsone khantele mme gape dio tse Wyllie ke tsone tse ileng gore di re gorosa mo kganyeng ile gore re bua ka yone ya gompieno khotlang ne o ke le re gona le khotlang gareng ga mele motsadi wa me ka gore motsadi a re hey wena hey ngono wa ga marumago
ha go kwa monya
a go kake khotlang ya mele maikutlo gore ba gaitso me o bona atang la ntse le ngwana ga malome ene mme o bona ene mme
khotlang within yourself gore pelo ga go e lwantshana le maikutlo. There's a song like that I think I heard it before whereby I've heard Botswana mongwari ke na le pelo tse pedi wa ba me we know hela gore when you were studying biology pelo ga go e wana ke as a organ tsa me di pedi e mo ya re ke tsamae ke ya kwa e mo ya re ke tlogele e mo ya re ke monyale e mo ya re ke lese wa ba it means you have conflict within yourself. You are divided in what you want to do, so your emotions and your feelings and the flesh ya go ra ire dirase tswella hela le your cousin, but your mind, the cognitive aspect tells you that but this is a no-go area, so you become conflicted. So conflict is important that you brought that up gore go no re tsene mo tlhogong sa go biono sa khotlang
gore me sentle so se khotlang ke eng Wyllie
conflict. But before we can say khotlang ha re bua ka khotlang thoka kutusisano bua ka gae we could say but do you believe that where there are human beings, where there are people, there is bound to be conflict?
Absolutely.
That conflict is inevitable.
Absolutely.
Why is that? Why is it that it cannot be avoided?
I personally think gore ke khanya gore batho ga ba le teng fo gona le go hapanna maikutlo go hapanna menagano go hapanna dikakanyo batho ga ba tshwane so ga ditlhele gore nna ke dumela gore jaaka se ka e gompieno kgang ile gore re ntse re bua Wyllie ke batla ntsa like wena o le Wyllie o le motsadi wa me wa ba re o botsa ka ena re wena na re o nole ena gone gore mme kana mme motsadi wa me nna ka re ke ikutlwa jana wena wa re ga o ikutlwe jana jaanong go a gona le that friction.
It's like when you say malobane go ntse ana ile gore ga o ka tahela wa o tswa go ga mangwato go gore ke bonye mosadi go borwa kwa go bo go te mosadi ga a tswe borwa e se whatever.
Gone
mo go create a conflict because wena o le Thabiso o ratile mosana yo morning kwa kweneng kwa ga ngangwa ketsi go khalagadi go Good Hope wherever ka tswa o mmone teng and o mo ratile wa bana and then botsadi bo bata go ra gore nya ha kwa nyala go o ka nyala go ka re batang teng go tsala khotlang. But I want to say I think the culture is dynamic. It doesn't remain static. That is why today, in this era, I believe anybody can marry wherever batang go nyala teng. Go sena issue ya gore yo ke mokae wa letsole he ka ngwao tribes and stuff like that. But it's true that conflict is inevitable where people exist because we are different individuals, different upbringings, personalities. We are going to differ here and there. And behavior. So that is why we are saying where there are people, there is bound to be conflict. It
prompts that conflict and what it happens among people. What causes that, Mawyllie?
Dilo tse di tsang di phapang a re lebelle gore kana a re khotlang re bua ka go thoka go dumelana go thoka kutusisano go thoka go share megopolo e tshwanang. It's opposition between two people or more, between groups, because interest it's simply disagreement. Wana o bona dilo this way nna ke di bona this way wa bana. So ga re sa bone dilo ka go tshwana ga go all the time. And therefore dilo tse di harologanang di khona go diragala ne santse re bua ka khotang e leng gore e go diragala wena mo teng ga gago where you are divided and you are conflicted whether to do something or not to do something. And then in families Hansi, you find that you can have a conflict with your brother, with your sister in your family. And you can also have a conflict between you and your parents. So no has a kaisa gore o bone cousin probably no, that is true. That you probably feel you want to marry her and then your parents say no, develop a tension and conflict between you and your mom and your dad, your family. But feel like no, you cannot marry our cousin. Why would you do that? She's your sister. You should be treating her like your sister. Then you feel why can't they just bend over and let you marry your own cousin? Create a and then you can also have issues like at the workplace. Magarang ga ba bereki hela ka bo bone hela ko ka di issues tsa bone hela tsa maybe personality clashes or re sa dumelane ka sengwe o bona dilo differently than your colleague system, or the conflict at the workplace can be between employees and their supervisors and their employer and their CEO. Sounds like he's a wonderful supervisor.
Ona le go letsa dipina tse di mwana tse di le dintsi na kwe one ra gore ya no nna re tereletsa eng
o ra la gore wa ta o la tlhalatsa Setswana re go toetsa dino wa mo gae
ke wena go tlanya melene hele
o le se go letsa bo Justin Bieber all the time. I think I
re ke letsa monate thata
then go tlhanye mo go nta ga e diragalang go tirong ke leng gore o khona go e bona in the society, in the community where there is khotha mo khotleng ya lona gongwe bile go khotlang itsisiwa ke issue ya bogosi ke mo supposed to be the leader of khotla eo, or in the village you may find that in a particular village batho ba motse ba feel gore this is not the rightful person wa bogosi, the rightful person should be so and so and things like that. And then when you go into wider community re lebeletse dilo tse di tshwanang gape le tsone tsa sepolotiki hela yalo tse leng gore o kgona go bona gore go kgona go develop a tension between politiki partiele le partiele and therefore go create gore ha re le mo family na say for example ke support a party ya gore ba bang ba support a party ya gore family support a party ya gore go kgona go create a conflict ya le gore ya me party ke yone e winneng. I end up in that family being hated or go nna le tension nyana go nna le dipuo nyana hela ka gore ga ke support party e leng gore supportiwa ke family. So maybe we can throw this to the audience, to the listeners, and say, share with us, with you, where you are concerned in particular. What are the things that normally brings about conflict? And have you ever experienced this type of conflict within you, magareng ga gago mo go wena, between dilo tse leng gore go batla go di dira, magareng ga sele issue ya go batla go dira choice ha go nna le conflict ko tirong, mo family le mo in a wider community, go at your village or go khotlaneng ya lona and things like that. Talk to us, share with us. Let's hear if you have experienced this kind of issues that we are talking about.
Share a little more about our SMS line 166106 khotsa 3500131 reswaref.
Talk line 3500131.
Ke eng se e leng gore ke iphitlhela le mo go sone se e leng gore e ne le kgotlang se bakilwe ke eng mme o dirile jang gore o tswe mo go sone.
Engage with us on WhatsApp on 762818885 or SMS 16616.
Now, let's get back to the music.
Here's a quick one from someone. Sasa class that me here, so continue to rest in peace. Only ATI. If you don't want the pelo se matla. Bunti ba na ko pelo ke o le leng gore ra e retsa. Ga re retse tlhaloganyo ya rona. Maybe le gore khotlang ya nna teng gone fo. Share le rona mo 762818885. O dirile jang go tswa mo maikutlong a leng gore a no le mo gone a leng gore a bakile khotlang. Dumela tsala. Seno ke emotionally and physically in sync. Ona le nna Thabiso Tshwenyana le Tshidi Wyllie at exactly 1:31.
How many times did you lie to me? Man, how many times did we talk about you coming home just to fight with me? You were controlling me, holding me back from the person who used to dream. Broke my spirit to limits and everything. You were my everything. Damn, you ruined everything. You cheated, left my heart bleeding. Soon as I left, suddenly you're the victim. Pleading on Twitter, man, it turns you bitter. But I cannot fix him. I ain't no fixer. Got me a man, put a stamp on that visa. Flew across the world just to show him I messed him. My reason, the air that I'm breathing. So I put you in the past like an outdated season. Cause I don't wanna hurt no more. You won't have the power to get close no more. No let go of it. Cause I ain't gonna cry no more. Tears that I cried make a river flow. And lay yourself down.
Like a sister close to me, you are. Like a brother close to you. Always when you was with OZF. But the one thing that I failed to understand was the way you were able to give out a word of encouragement when my life was in a mess. More than motivated from the love you radiated. So here's a letter of appreciation I honor my ex. Remembered in the best of ways and I ain't even pretending. Cause you've been killing me softly, strumming my pain. Will you feel me? Can I leave the man where I want to heal it? That's a bit of my.
It's called Pelo, the sounds of ATI alongside Sasa Class, Mudme FM, more talk, more music, 87.9, Rohita 100.9, www.dumafm.co.bw 3500 3500 ke gone ko ile gore o ka re letsa teng mme re batla go itse gore ke efe kgotlang e le gore ke lo iphitlhela o le mo go yone mme le gone o dule jang mo kgotlang e ka gore bontsi bana go re iphitlhela le gore re ga re ga dikgotlang ga re itse gore ke eng se leng gore se bakile kgotlang e leng gore re mo go yone. But we just, ra tswella hela ka botshelo. But a me go tswella jalo ke gone mo ileng gore re fitlhela gore a ke gone mo ileng gore it solves everything. Kana me go batla gane le gore gongwe di kile ra bona modi go tsa se leng gore se bakile kgainye gore be le teng gore re kgone gore mo nakong e tla mo isagong in future re avoid di kgantseo 3500 number 3 Duma FM dumelang. Dumela se
ha yo
re teng re le kae
gore no bana o le bukile gore gape le di team hela football na go tsenya khoda mo la beng
yeah se ga ilusitse yana ko la pem Pirates e winne eish inna matata Sundowns
to go bo mwana bo ile gore mo ga itumetse gore ga tshwana go itumela
wena mme o ke lo iphitlhela gore Galaxy winne mme motho o tshela le ene ke morora se o dira jang kana go yo
ka tshela ngwana ke ba go itato
o goreng
ke le jizi ke le pa
gone mme ga ile gore go tlanyete nyana ka moso le dira jang a le tshela hela e bore nyame e tswadedetse go diragetse life continues
nna ba okay fine ga malati a tsamaya ke re ya mo setse ya no le wena o etse gore nyame gone go halebe re le wa ke re lusitse
yeah
so you accept the status quo gore hey gora gore this time ga ra tshameka sentle re team next time le ta re bona ke go ira gore o bo khona go amogela semo and then reduces the tension between you and your son.
ra le bogang khonne thank you se a re tsa yo mongwe Duma FM dumelang Duma okay ga ena le rona a re tse WhatsApp voice note di tsong go Patrick.
Hello dumelang
Shapuze
Patrick
yeah
le phikwe nna nkile ka nna le kgothang le batsadi ba me ke batla go simolla kgwebo mme ba sa kgone go bona se ne ke se bona go dumela mo go se ne ke batla go se dira ka biletsa di meeting ke botsadi ba me ke bolella gore ga ke a tshwana go dira jalo e seng jalo ke tswe mo lapeng ke ne ka tswella ka mogopolo wa me ka dream ya me mo ngwageng tse pedi ke ha ke setse ke kgonne go tokafatsa business ya me e godile mo sengwe sa gore le nako e ne ba takwa ga me ba ithala ke setse ke itheketse ntu ke ba laleditse go ta go bula ntu ya mmuso ba lela selo se se botlhoko ba bo ba bua gore ba boela mahoko a ne ba bua ko tshimologong morago
I'm on air I'll call you
se ke ne ke se bona so nako e nngwe it's all about believing in what you want to do and believing in your dreams and believing what indeed so batlang go se dira o ka kgona go se dira so that you prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Ever since then it became a lesson to them or they should never ever try go ema hape la gang se motho batlang go se dira.
Kanya people having a vision and the next person not understanding your vision. Kana gongwe having an opinion and the next person not understanding your opinion.
Hey, guess what? Last week in Erubuaka fogging.
Yeah.
Because what you do, how respond ka bogale just because haba share mogopolo wa gago.
Yeah.
We somehow in the way I will get to win them and show them they will be able to catch the dream and the vision along the way. If you have that strong conviction and you are committed to it and you have the goals, personal goals and plans, and you are determined to achieve them, it ends up winning them over, bringing them on board. o ne o leka go se ba bontsha kana ga o simolola wa bo leka go ba bontsha so se leng gore ga ba kgone go se bona a kere la ka tsa go se kwadile
go na le WhatsApp voice note dingwe gape go rogileng a re mo utlwe gore a reng
dumela Moduma FM
dumela re
nna ke ile ka na le kgotlang e nngwe tona nako e neng ga ke tsa tshwetso ya go batla my soulmate nako a teng ne go na le mongwe yo nneng ke mo imisitse so a le moimana ba na le mme o ke itumelang gore this one she's my soulmate ene mme o ke mo nyetseng today so go togela mme ole e be ke nyala ona e ne le kganye e nngwe thata but hela nna ka heletsa ke tsenya pelo a tau yala ke re tata gona re nka reng ke ta mogodi ke ta godisa ngwana let me just marry this one because tota o tsamaelana le dilo tsotlhe tse ke kileng ka di eletsa gore soulmate ya me nne le tsone
Wyllie, but what constitutes a conflict gore e be re mme so sena ke conflict ke ha gona le eng what are the qualities of a conflict?
Usually there are at least 2 or more people involved, or groups involved in the issue. And then there is also a time's intention in most cases to defeat the other person or to suppress the other person. And at times it's an issue to gain victory over the other person or to suppress the other person or the other people. So these are some of the characteristics that you find in a conflict. Sometimes it's simply that and yet wants to create a favorable situation or position for themselves. But this is the person who has the qualities of a kind of person I want to spend the rest of my life with. That one, yes, maybe self-regulation, I'll take the responsibility for the child, o lebeletse bokamoso wa gore ena o batla eng ha nyala ole a tshotse ngwana le mme mowa wa gagwe o se ngwe teng mme a bona go leka sengwe go sena foundation nngwe mo relationshiping yele that is going to end up possibly kamoso ele failed marriage. And then what?
Wyllie, a me go possible gore me batho ba ka tshela ba le ile batho me go sena kgang ya conflict a ga khona gala gore ke tselele Wyllie ke tselele re motei me le gore ga gona khotlang
how re go sena kana you are talking of eliminating completely. I see it not possible because we are bound to differ here and there. The thing is for us not to allow what we are disagreeing on to destroy the relationship that exists, to destroy the family, to destroy our community, to destroy our country. We can differ, we can agree to disagree and still coexist and still live peacefully. E be re sa buisane re be re sa discuss issue ya teng re be re sa leke go establish ke eng se se hirileng gore go nne le this tension, this conflict yo causitswe ke how can we overcome it? No dialogue. When we do that, that's when the conflict kind of exists almost every day. It remains forever because it's not being addressed.
Nna personally ke feel gore ga le gore ke ya go bereka le say for ke ya go bereka le Leti ke ya go bereka le DJ6 ke ya go bereka le Snacks ke ya go bereka le Redon ke ya go bereka le Auskgomotso le Bonjo me ga gona go pe hare ga panang ka teng ha gongwe gape me delays productivity ka gore ra gona nga re dumalana nako ngwe ga re le harologane gore le kgone go bona a bigger picture.
Do you remember when we talked about supporters and expressors and drivers and analysts? Ghana supporters are there they exist in any institution
Yeah.
where they agree with everything and anything. Ka nahana gore gore ga go te go nna le kgolo ha ile gore nako le nako ite go nna yes morena all the time le ha ka nako ite go dira gore go nne morena hela le ha dilo ile gore ha gong ga di gatise mpe me diversity existing in our different personality and different views and ideas can help an organization to grow.
Yeah.
Ka o tswa ka mogopolo o sa tshwanelwa ga re mothei le tuta ka mogopolo wa gago o sa tshwanelwa gago and le lebella megopolo yote and you try and take DUMA FM somewhere or an organization somewhere or a family le khona go isa go go ga go possible gore all the time kana go dumelano ka sengwe le sengwe all the time. Go to go na le sengwe se ile gore re le family re le di couple re le masika re le khotla re le a village re le a nation we will not agree on certain things.
A re bua ka dintlha dingwe tse e leng gore di ka triggera conflict ke di
let's do that and then let's stress the point that bear in mind conflict can be seen, can be felt, can be experienced. Have you ever seen conflict?
Yes.
Go buduluga go ngala di non-verbals the behavior, the responses without even somebody saying anything. Sometimes you probably just felt when you walked into a place you could feel tension, so much tension that could be cut with a knife. And then sometimes you probably experienced it yourself. But there are these things that normally create conflict. Criticism. How would you feel when Thabiso if all the time ona o criticize you hela even when you've done your best?
In all honesty, being criticized, it depends. It depends in the sense that sometimes it depends on how often you get criticized. And how gongwe ke go dira maiteko beke le beke me my supervisors ba criticize but sure ya go Thabiso ene sa nna sentle how I'm going to feel okay I'm not adding value and how I'm not being recognized how my efforts are not maybe in line with the vision. There are a lot of dynamics in order to yeah,
you are right,
but if it's constructive then you don't have a problem with being criticized.
Yes. Criticism is okay. It helps us to grow. It also depends on what is in there. Ke gakollo go ntsia ke tshwa di phoso go tswa go ntsia ke sa shrediwe ke sa undermine ke sa belittle ke sa sotlakiwe ke sa khatakiwe
e se motho a go te ga ona mosola ga ona tlhaloganyo nkile ka toa ya go
but gantsi ga etswa some people become defensive. They don't want to hear their mistakes being pointed out. Gore ha le Thabiso ga ba dira sentle kana ga o nna defensive ya no cause the other person who's trying to help you to grow. Gore Lena and overwhelmed and get upset and irritable like
absolutely.
Tota ga lebella o lebeletse tiro o batla gore o gole o batla go improve at the show go improve whatever tiro ya gago. And then when you become defensive that can create conflict. The other issue is contempt. Have you ever seen a contempt, whether it's verbally or non-verbally, in a form of behavior where somebody just outright shows you disgust, or they are so disgusted with you just by at times just looking at you. Ba go sinalla ba go lebela mo leng gore go lebela go tswa go thwa go isa go tase ga go nyenyefatsa. That kind of thing can create conflict gore o leba ya motho. And though at times it may be my interpretation influenced by my perceptions of what I may consider as gore wa ntsinalla, whether me wena o le motho o ntseng o le bangnyalo o ntse yalo physically o khona go leba o isitseng go godimo batho bana le go conclude gore motho o mabela o nteba ka go sinalla. Within the long run as you observe the person you realize motho o ntse yalo so ga se gore o nteba ka lenyatso. And then stonewalling kana is where you are just shutting down and sulking. You don't want to engage in this issue, a discussion, a question, conflict, and then you pretend like you are not hurt, like you don't really care. It's common in relationships, in marriages, where the other spouse or partner will just pretend like I don't care, he can do whatever he gore wa mo lebelo khona bona a go ga attitude ya gore ga na sepe gore o dira eng a o tla pe a o tela pe o dira eng go dira galang, he just doesn't care, when in actual fact inside they are dying inside by that, but they are just stonewalling and sulking. Go kana create more conflict and inner emotions broken trust, where you trusted somebody wholeheartedly, maybe in a relationship, maybe in a business partnership, and then they go behind you to be doing certain things that were unethical. Tshepo is ka thola in nothing. How says it tshepo is seyo, whether ke mo lelateng, ke mo nyalong, ke mo relationshiping, ke mo partnership ba di business, go se na trusting. That relationship, the chances for that relationship or that partnership to grow and to exist, to heal, are very minimal or limited. No buaka lack of recognition. But you are never acknowledged, you are not recognized, you are not given feedback. You comment, well done, you are doing a great job. Create a conflict. What's the point of me working? Even whether I work hard or not, nobody cares, nobody recognizes, they never say anything to me. Then I get called and reprimanded, and when I'm doing okay, nobody says anything. Sometimes in an issue, you have the role, you have the responsibilities. When there is role conflict or clashes between what you are supposed to do, or when I say for example, it's a guidance teacher, and at the same time is expected to function as a teacher and reprimand and beat the students. After you beat these students, you are expected to go and offer them counseling. They're not going to come for counseling because they see you as a corporal punisher, somebody over itaya, over geteka. Next thing about they wouldn't do that. Having disagreement, they do like needs are not being met. And so have you ever seen how scarcity le tlhoko go sena dilo malapeng ole broke, how or your parents being broke, how that thing create a problem go lapeng go sena dijo bana ba bula fridge empty, and madia seyo o sa khone ba duela school fees and things like that. Some people become so unhappy and upset with the way orana lelapa gore o ka re o palwa go manage lelapa o palwa go manager o le monana o 18 to 35. So these are some of the things. The list is endless. We can come up with many. Voice message whereby obata go nyala motho and botsadi ba rena o ka kwa nyala yo ka gore o na le ngwana go gongwe and things like that. But in a nutshell, there are different types of conflict that exist. It's realistic, let's say this is realistic. No one regard conflict is realistic against me is realistic against
realistic as or when ke ha ile gore nyame wa bona gore ha o girile phoso
ke leng gore ha gone wa bona gore ga o tse dilo ka mahatha o nna personal. You are just looking at the issue that is creating conflict, and you are allowing yourself to engage, to discuss that, so that you can reach a win-win resolution. You can solve something. Le ka thusa organization go gola, le ka thusa family go gola, le ka thusa motho wa lona go gola. Ke realistic. Being personal about issues when things should not be personal. Even when you point out issues, you are discussing them, it's intended to build. Go aga di relationships a rona, go aga malapa a rona, go aga metse ya rona, go aga lehatshe la rona. More unrealistic is where you just look at this and you can see that this person or the people are taking things personal. And the goal being knowingly and deliberately to defeat, to destroy the other person over Sadumela. The criticism is intended just as an attack, to belittle, to embarrass, and to cause stress, which is intended and it's planned, intended to cause that kind of outcome. Me itshupa ka hostility, itshupa ka violence le aggression, ka di put downs and go undermine ba bang e hella ka bo hatred. Where nobody gives in. Kore ga gona yo winang le ba polutsana hela yana e leader ka lose situation.
Ga se siameng
ke mehuta yone ya conflict e re bona re ikele thoko gore mo malapeng when there is conflict, do we engage, do we discuss, or am I personally seeing things?
Wyllie a re pele ga re kgaogana re garele ka voice note ena e nne yone ya bofelo re utlwe gore moreetsi ene a reng before we wrap it up.
Dumelang bagaetsho nna ke video ya Malembe ke mo Mmopane kgang ya conflict le kgolo ya di-institution ke go mo go teng yaanong se se teng se diragale ke gore mo di-institutioneng tse dingwe ga megopolo o ka re ya thula-thulana banna ba go shoota down hela nako tse tsotse ga o re o bua se ba go shoota down ga o re o bua se ba go shoota down at the end of the day wena o shunna o shootwa down o hela o resorta gore if I can't beat them, join them. Everything se ba se buang ka ntlha ya go inela go nna gore emma erra yes boss gore e le go inela le go sa nna sente hela go nna gore yes boss because ga gona sepe seo teng re o se bua bangwe ba se reite.
Yeah, that's a painful thing to go through.
It's a painful experience to go through, but it does happen. From since we started the show, a lot of calls that are coming in is young people raising this issue in organizations where they are not being listened to. We touched on issue botlhokwa empathy mo tirong. Ha ke le supervisors ra ke se ka reetsa ka maikutlo. Ke reetse ke ne le motho mo tšhono ya gore a ntshe magatha a gagwe le a e ka tswa ke sa dumelane le one ko bohelong. I have to give reasons why I hear you. It's a good point, but I feel at the moment priority of our organization is 1, 2, 3. Our level strategic plans are on. Our plan ne go dira eng mo ngwageng. Re be re prioritize re focus mo go tsone. Re tae ba mo banking to be pursued in the future. Gona le go reject and shooting them all the time because we are creating people by who will not take responsibilities to run these organizations. Hare go nnela mo di organizations for the rest of our lives. Bana ba to hella ba tsena go ba go ga di organizations. That is the most important thing that every leader has to know, that they are not seated there forever, that we are going to give way with time as we retire to young people too. Therefore, we should be mentoring them. And you start by listening. It's a very important quality or skill. Organization.
Tshidi Wyllie, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us and sharing those insights. Emotionally and physically in sync. We see the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Sports and Culture Development, more the BNYC, that's the Botswana National Youth Council. Maybe for counseling services, I don't hesitate to call your Plus on 17270. That's 17270 between 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. That's on Monday to Friday. Wyllie,
have a wonderful weekend.
Mate.